Hi everyone, I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News. Thank you for joining me. I suppose some of you are waiting on my report about what the heck is going on at Yellowstone. They had major uplift, or at least uplift, across the entire park today. After I did my report yesterday and I showed you all the snow that had accumulated, and that along the Firehole River, a large amount of the snow was gone, and I showed you the water temperature. And then shortly after I posted that video, all the snow was gone. Well, it's still snowing, and now it has settled down a little bit. Yeah, the caldera has settled down. The temperature has decreased, and the snow is now again accumulating. Some of you that were watching the camera after I did my report noticed that all of a sudden all the snow was gone and now it's back, but it's starting to melt again. And yeah, there was uplift across the entire caldera. I've been waiting to do this report because all the boreholes went offline at the same time when this one earthquake occurred, which was 1535, almost 1536 Universal Time. This was the wave as it came in at Yellowstone Lake. There was a lot of activity, and there has been a lot of activity going on at Yellowstone Lake. This large intrusion of magma came in, an earthquake occurred at 1536. Yeah, and the data is delayed as it comes in on Swarm that I use, and all the boreholes went offline. So I thought, well, maybe it was just a technical glitch because of the earthquake. We'll see if it comes back on, or if any of them come back online, and they haven't. None of the boreholes are working. 1536, there was a magnitude 2.6. There's been quite a few magnitude 2s or greater, and you'll remember, maybe a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, one of the geologists working there at the park said they wouldn't worry until they started having magnitude 2 earthquakes or greater. There was also a 2.2, a 2.9, and that was also today. Yeah, the monitors didn't shut down for that one, but they shut down for the 2.6. Here's the location of that 2.6, Hebron Lake, and I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you the uplift as it was given to us back in 2015. The red lines measure the extent, the width, the extent of the uplift there at Yellowstone. Now, the underground caldera is about 35 wide by 50 miles long. But as the magma comes into the system, it's putting pressure on the ground and causing uplift. So this earthquake is definitely within the area of the underground caldera. And see, the magma chamber is only about 3 miles under the ground from where everyone's walking. So this earthquake occurred somewhere in the upper chamber because it was 3.5 miles under the ground. 4 people reported feeling this earthquake. And here we have the earthquake report where they were coming in from, and there's the Madison River. Remember, my report yesterday was showing that area and all the earthquakes that were occurring. And in my other reports, I talked about how past eruptions, the last major eruption 335 years ago, actually started with an unzipping of the caldera in a counterclockwise in this location. Looking at all of today's earthquakes, you can see how the caldera, the earthquakes, caused uplift. Yeah, so let's go down here to the first one, a 0.8, right there. And now remember, too, we have 2 areas where the magma comes into the system, from the Snake River Plateau and down south from the Gulf of California. And I've talked about how the magma, because of the rhyolite cap, which is holding the pressure of all those gases and the magma, of course, under a dome of rhyolite, and it's like a can being shaken up, and as the pressure builds, the ground becomes more brittle, etc. So, okay, we got a 0.8 right there, and then comes the 2.9 right down here. Now this location is right there. I'm going to zoom in on that. I'm going to move this over so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, we got Heben Lake, and this is the 2.9. We got Firehole River. Yeah, Firehole River, where the camera is at. It travels down all the way to the upper Norris Basin, and then down towards Old Faithful. We got the Mallard Resurgent Dome. Yellowstone's got 2 resurgent domes. One, Mallard Lake, and the other one, which is over by Yellowstone Lake, the Sour Creek Resurgent Dome. So going back to the cap and the magma. Remember, Yellowstone is only one of 5 volcanoes that they're tracking which direction the magma is flowing under the ground. And that's an easterly direction. The magma is moving horizontally. It's not coming up, it's not breaking through, but it's seeping out horizontally in an easterly direction. So then we got a 2.8, which is in the same location as the 2.9. This being on the edge along somewhere where the outside edge of the caldera is a little bit deeper, 13.5 kilometers and 14.7 kilometers in depth. So 14.7 is about 9 miles in depth, 13.5 kilometers, so that's about 8 miles in depth. Okay, a little bit shallower. Then we have a 1.7 way over here on the other side of Yellowstone Lake, 10.5 kilometers in depth. That's about 6.2 miles in depth, and I'm going to show you something else, why this one is shallower than, say, that one or these over here. This image here is from USGS. See how as the magma comes in from the Snake River Plateau, how it gets shallower? I'm going to show you another image. Okay, here we got the East Snake River Plateau over here. We got the Yellowstone Caldera. See how it rises up? It's closer to the surface. Again, this is from 2015. Over here in this box, we got the Mallard Lake Resurgent Dome and the Sour Creek Resurgent Dome. See that, how it comes up closer? So that would be in the area of the magnitude 1.7. Then we had a 2.6 again over at Heben Lake, 6.2 kilometers in depth. There's got to be a lot of magma coming into the system. And I've talked about that, the harmonic tremors, the volcanic tremors. Next, there was a magnitude 2.2 over here on the eastern side of the caldera, 15.2 kilometers in depth. Yep, that magma is moving east, but this is a little bit deeper. So that would be 9.44 miles in depth. And then the most recent one they reported is a 0.2, which is again Heben Lake, Snake River Plateau, and the same location as 0.3, 5.8 kilometers in depth and 6.5 kilometers in depth. I would not be surprised if they have requested a flyover with live satellites to see what's going on with the park, because with the limited cameras they have, we need to see where the snow's melting, etc. Here we have the north entrance of the park. Yeah, notice this, no snow. Another image of the park. This is Electric Peak. This is near Mammoth Vault. Let me pull this over so you can see the floor of the valley. Tops of the mountains still got snow, but the valley is, bare. Mammoth Vault. Yeah, now look at this, how the roads are all bare. The west entrance still has a lot of snow. Looks like they plowed here recently. Who knows when. This was just a little while ago, 3:17 Mountain Time. In the opposite direction, this is the west entrance, traffic into the park. Well, the park's closed because of the coronavirus. And the static cam for Old Faithful, you can see how limited their view of what's going on there at the park is. Some of the cameras from the ranger stations way up on the mountain, because of the snow, you really can't see what's going on from the other two cameras. So I'm going to start with the spectrograms at Yellowstone Lake all the way up until it was shut down. Okay, and this is the magma that was coming in and the heat when they decided to either disconnect it or it was disconnected. I find it hard to believe that all the boreholes, which are very deep wells, they all shut down at the same time. Yeah, I find that really hard to believe. Okay, this is 8:45, which was the magnitude 2.9, which isn't far from West Yellowstone. Let me close this out. Okay, 2.9 right there. Firehole River. Up here is Hebron Lake. And then this one here, 10:52, is not being reported. It is marked in red, meaning the geologists needed to come in and look at it. Another one not reported. When it's in red, it means the computer picked it up. 12:31, not being reported. And let me go here, and because these are the blobs, and that's the actual scientific term. Blobs of magma that came into the system. Two melt lines. What are melt lines? Not all rock melts at the same temperature, and they have different depth. Think of a sponge and those holes in a sponge. Well, we got two different lines of melt, probably because of a fault line that allows the magma to flow up, the water to flow up, and melt the rock. See that? That's more distinct there. This is what's going on today. Okay, 13:18. That's a 1.7. I am sure many of these are larger than what they're saying they are. Could have been as high as a 2.43, 2.54. The 2.9 could have been as high as 3.8. What else? We got 3.16. 3.16. Norris Junction. Norris Junction. What else we got here? Holmes Hill, 2.41. Upper Falls. Now, Upper Falls is north of Yellowstone Lake, 3.8. Again, the location of that 2.9. Yeah, they're fudging on the magnitude of these earthquakes. We won't see what kind of uplift we have until tomorrow. This is the borehole for Yellowstone Lake all the way up until this morning. And look how they fudged with the numbers again. Those of you that follow me will know how they fudge with these numbers. So you really can't see what's going on. Okay, so this is the last 7 days of Yellowstone Lake uplift. And like I said, they're tracking what's going on under the ground. X is north, Y is east. This is the flow of the magma under the ground for the last 7 days. And then the last 30 days. Now when you see dots like this, it means that the ground took a breath, went up, and then came back down. Lots of dots means lots of activity, lots of shaking. Each dot on the disk is an earthquake. An example here, the last 7 days, is an earthquake that caused uplift. So it'll be interesting to see what data we have tomorrow and if they fudged with the numbers again. Norris Junction. This is a borehole 950. I would not be surprised if we don't have the data for tomorrow. I hope we do. Again, lots of dots around the 24th and 25th. And the trending is towards the east. Last 7 days, Norris Junction. And then the last 30 days. Another borehole for Norris Junction. See the difference? Yeah, they haven't fudged with the numbers here. Now this one they have. So it's probably going to be fudged with tomorrow. Last 7 days. See this? X is north, Y is east. But if you look at the ground, it looks like for this monitor, they got 2 monitors at Norris Junction. They know that's a significant area. Trending towards the east. And then the last 30 days, that's a lot of earthquakes. The monitor for the water temperature at Firehole River at Old Faithful. We got a spike right here. That probably, 29th or 30th of 48 degrees. Yeah, it looks like it's holding steady. I don't know. We'll have to check it. There was a drop probably yesterday. It looks like it's going back up. It dropped down to 36 degrees. So that snow yesterday should not have melted. Here we got Tantalus Creek at Norris Junction. Again, this is near Steamboat Geyser. Yeah, it's warmer. So we'll just have to keep watching for these earthquakes. I'm going to show you the other monitor. Anyways, we'll go to this other one. Okay, I showed you that earthquake. And then the magma that was coming in. We'll look at these signatures. Try and get this. I think this is what I showed you yesterday. How the magma was coming in. Here we have the monitor for Holmes Hill, which is by Heben Lake. And let's see here. This here is the earthquake at 1536, which shut down all the boreholes. Look at the heat that came up. Red, hot. Yeah, a lot of heat, maybe magma. Okay, so this one, 1549, is the 2.2. Yeah, look at that. See how they got it cranked up so high? It just hardly even shows. This is the 2.6. Yeah, what a difference. All right, let me close this out and let's see what we're looking at. Yeah, a lot of heat here. Look at the signature. Yeah, see that? Harmonic tremors. And this one here, 845, is the 2.9. Again, lots of heat. 840. Yeah, I would say prior to this, there probably was a fault line that allowed some magma to come up in the system. Possibly a dike intrusion. This earthquake, they are not reporting. Look at that. This one they did. That one is the 2.9. But this one, they're not reporting. Yeah, it was 9 minutes earlier. What else we got here? This is the 0.8. Yeah, if you want to believe that. And let's come up a little bit. Okay, that's the 0.8. We got another one there. Another one there. Again, this is all at Heben Lake. Yeah, look at the heat. Hot water and gases. Alright, here's the monitor for Grant, which is on the western side of Yellowstone Lake. This is not a borehole. This one they did not shut down. This is the signature of that earthquake when they did shut down all the boreholes. At 1536 it came in, which was the magnitude 2.6. A lot of activity afterwards. Yeah, where should we begin? All right, when I pulled the files, look at the heat. Signature of an earthquake there. 2014. Yeah, harmonic tremors, look at that. Not being reported. Let me go back to the spectrogram. Okay, yep. Pockets of melted rock. Yeah, there's harmonic tremors, like I said yesterday. It's throughout this whole thing. Look at that. Yep. I'll just jump around here. Alright. We got one here. 845. That's a 2.9. This one's marked in red. 1318. That's the 1.7. 245. Not being reported. And we'll come up here. Yeah. Like I said, my report yesterday. I mean, there's just so much going on. And remember, we got that crack in the bottom of the lake. I'll show you an image. It kind of runs through here by Stevenson Island and down by this other island. I'll show you another image. This is from USGS, and it shows the movement. See the crack? Okay, the fault line. And the movement of the spreading, just like they have with the plates down there in the ocean where new land is made. More images from USGS as the heat. This is about 1.4 miles in depth. They took readings using depth penetrating radars. And yeah, it shows as the heat comes up, these two circles are the resurgent domes. And it goes down to 70 kilometers. Another image from USGS, I believe this was also 2015, when they were having earthquake swarms, and the heat and the uplift that was going on. Yeah, they believed back then the caldera boundary, which I think it goes way up north. Like I said, the magma's been traveling eastward. You know, all the years that I've been watching Yellowstone and talking about its activity, I have never seen activity like this ever before. So that's all I have for you right now. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the snow melt. Yeah, the water really came up in the Firehole River, hasn't it? Yeah, maybe later today we'll take a look at it and see the snow all melted again like it was yesterday. But if any thoughts or comments or questions, put it down below. Like I said, they're probably watching it and got satellites flying over. Please stay safe. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.